Hi there and welcome to Red Swede Outdoor. Today I'm going to try out something completely new to me. It's this little feller, you can see. It's not big, it's a Trangia Mini. So this is the first spin I give it, so tag along. Once again, welcome to Gothenburg and what I now mostly call Red Swede's Corner. It's a quiet little place, semi-quiet at least. I find myself in when I need to shoot a video that's close by home. And last time I met you, I said we had a dry spin, and it's still going on. Summer hit us full force. It's 25, 27 degrees something in the shade, Celsius that is, and the air is dry, just a few clouds and not a drop of rain for weeks ahead as far as we know. Well, so that means no open fires for now. There is no fire ban as such, but I know that everything outside now is dry as bone, so I stick to my usual stuff. And today we're gonna check out the Spirit Burner. I think we can say this is the smallest sibling probably in the Trangia family. It's called Trangia Mini, and let's crack this open. So start up with the lid, acts like a frying pan. I don't know if you can see here, but there's a little divot here, and same on the other side, that keeps this thing shut. I remove the plastic here. I done it once before and added some oil because that's the recommendation. But this is supposed to be a non-stick pan, and today I'm going to put that to the test. And let's dive in here. This is not original, this is just me, a Scotch-Brite, because, you know, dishes. And this little thing, this is a variety of the handle that's in the larger Trangias, but this one is much smaller. And it can at least lift like this. You take this part over and this part below, and then you just pinch, and it works well for an empty set. I just tried it out like this with not a full load, and inside here we have the burner sitting snugly in this little, should we call it, container. Since I haven't tried it, I don't know if this one gets hot when you use it, so I will put it at solid rock. And the burner is a classic Trangia burner with a simmering, and as you can see, it's quite pristine. It hasn't been used even once. I haven't tried it. You say you should never try anything for the first time on a hike, but I've been using Trangia stoves for 40+ years, so I'm quite confident that this one will work fine. And if it doesn't, that means I will stay hungry until I get home, and that's not a big deal. And this base, it fits rather snugly below here, so even when I tilt it rather much at the side, it stays solid. And as usual, the frying pan can act as a lid both ways, but I think they made these divots to fit like here, so I think that's the best way to do it. And what about the volume? Well, they say this is supposed to be 0.8 liters. which means it would be perfect if you're doing freeze-dried meals, because they more often than not take 0.8 liters of water. And that also means you get 5-6 cups of coffee, because usually they say 8 cups is 1 liter. So let's say 6 in this one, usual cups. But boiling water to make freeze-dried, it's not the way I'm going to try this out. No, I have bigger plans. So let's move over to the kitchen. So this is today's kitchen, and let's grab what we have inside. Some mushrooms and tomatoes, some meat, and this is, I guess, pork loin. Fläskare in Swedish, if you want to Google that. And first up, I thought I was going to have some coleslaw, so let's start off with that, because it usually feels better when it sits around for some time. I'm gonna make it in that plastic bag, so let's chop up the cabbage. I want the cabbage to be finely sliced, like so. And we put it back in the bag. Because who wants to bring a bowl to the woods? And to make it a bit softer and get the juices running in the cabbage, we add salt first. And today I'm lazy, so I'm not going to wait around for the pepper, so it goes in at the same time. And we squish it around to get the salt everywhere. I can already feel the water inside the cabbage starting to escape, and that's what I want. And next up, time to chop the veggies. This is all the preparations I need to do today. And since I'm not going to use the pot for anything, I will use that for the veggies. Just slice them in half. And the mushrooms. So, what's it today? Salt, of course. Some pepper. And take some paprika, because pork has a tendency to turn pretty grey in the frying pan. And that's a bit drab, don't you think? Like so. I think that's all the spices that my meat will need. And to complete coleslaw. I think the cabbage feels soft. As you can see, the water starts to evacuate the cabbage. Now it's soft and nice. So let's add some mayo to the mix. I think a spoonful will be plenty for this one. Just close the bag and mix it right down here. If I was doing my coleslaw at home, I would have been putting in mustard seeds as well, because I think that really lifts the coleslaw to a high level. But I'm in the woods, so all the necessary stuff. Let's see how this Trangia performs. There's one important difference between the Mini Trangia and the bigger brothers. It doesn't have a windshield, a windscreen if you like. So, and there are moderate winds today, so I don't know if this will affect, but I brought an extra wind field just in case. You'll never know. Now this should just be a couple of minutes, I guess, so what do you say? A third? I think that would be plenty. Yeah, I think we got it. Oh yes. Certainly smells that way. And let's remove this plastic. Let's see if we can get this somewhat centered. That feels stable, and so does that. Well, let's start adding the mushrooms. And as you can see, I'm not adding any fat today. I want to see how these non-sticks live up to the reputation. This might be my biggest mistake in a long time, but one has to try. Well, so far the label non-stick holds true at least. Well, let's call the mushrooms done. You can always see the spirit in the bottom. It's boiling. And let's add the meat. That's a perfect match. Cinderella. And some spices on the other side. Same batch. Paprika for the color. Salt and pepper. Them flames came high. Well, don't have to wax my arms at least. Now let's add the tomatoes to the mix. Well, judging by the smell, it's time to flip this over. Oh yeah, looking lovely. Well, since this is done in just a couple of minutes, time to add the coleslaw to the plate. Wings coming up. And just turn it inside out. Well, I call this done. And so does the burner. So this is what it looks like. And well, semi non-stick at least. I think the tomatoes made the brunt of this. I'll just add some water and let it soak for a couple of minutes, and let's see what the result turns out. Yes, my friend, this means that dinner is served. Or as it may, in this case, lunch. So let's see. Let's try out the veggies. Yes. I miss the mustard seeds, I must say. I think it's worth it to bring them along. Oh yes. And we combine everything to divine harmony. Hell yeah. So, how did I think my Trangia was flying for the first time? Well, I guess it met my expectations. After all, it's a Trangia. I've been using them for so many years, so this is what I expect. As I said, there's no windscreen, so half of the time I thought it would be good to have one. It would have been somewhat more efficient with the fuel, but it didn't go out, but the winds are moderate, so if there are heavy winds I would definitely recommend you bringing a windscreen, because even if the flame is still going, it doesn't make much use. Kind of flames all over the place and don't heat what you want to be heated. And as I show you, the pot is very, very stable. It has edges in the bottom that makes it kind of stick to the foundation. The frying pan, not so much. You can move it around, and when you have a bird's eye view, it's always hard to tell if you're in the center. So it's easy to move it a bit too much to the side. You can move it around to avoid the hot spot in the middle and get it kind of evenly distributed, but I don't really see the point of that. Better to move the food in the frying pan. Some things stuck to the bottom, that's for sure. Mostly the tomatoes. The mushrooms and the pork came out without a mark. So non-stick, yeah, well, let's see how Scotch-Brite takes away the stains. I am leaving it to soak in water for a while, so probably I will make short work of the stains. But will I use it as a non-stick, aka no fat? No, not really. Not so much for the non-stick part, but I feel that some butter or oil when you're frying things adds to the taste. So more for that than to avoid things sticking to the pan. But it's a nice little kit. I won't say it fits in your pocket because that has to be a kangaroo pocket. But it's small, in a minimal backpack. You can fit it right down. And if you bring a small bottle of fluid, say half a liter, you're set for an overnighter. No problems. So it's a nifty little kit, and I'm sure that will find its way down my backpack when I'm going for day hikes, or possibly even overnighters when I'm not doing anything advanced cooking wise. If I'm going for longer walks and just bringing freeze-dried, sure thing. If I don't want to use gas, if I want to be a bit stealthy, if you say so. And I'm sure, like the other stuff from Trangia, it probably will combine well with, for example, my bush box. So you bring the bush box as the heat source, and you bring the Mini Trangia as the kitchenware. So if you're just looking for a spirit outdoor kitchen to make basically boil water and make easy dishes for one, I think the Mini Trangia has something. Mind you, this is not a review. This is a first try, so I have to use it at least for a season before I dare to venture into the review country. But as first impressions, yes, it's a good kit. It's fair reasonable price. I bought it in a physical store that I know you can't really say it has budget prices, and there I paid 40 euros for it, and I think it's a fair price. If you go online, I'm sure you can find cheaper ones. Well, that's it for now. The only thing that remains is the washing up. And I think I'm gonna sit out here for some time because it's really nice weather today. But I would like your comments as always. I enjoy them. I answer them in somewhat reasonable time. Mostly in the first 24 hours. And if you think that this video was something worth watching, do give it a thumbs up. It helps me and my channel a lot. And if you're not subscribing, you can consider doing that, and then you will get a notification when I'm out and more shenanigans outdoor. But until the next time, take care, and I'll see you then. Cheers.